Wouldn't it be pretty amazing if you had the technical ability to be able to look at your portfolio and make critical decisions to allow you to maximize your gains? Well, that's what I'm going to teach you in this video. I was able to increase the overall profit of my entire portfolio by $100,000 by changing one thing. I'm not talking about staking. I'm not talking about using some shady website to increase yield. I'm talking about actual altcoins that you currently own and just reorganizing the portfolio. This is all along the lines of rebalancing, which I'm going to explain more in just a second here. But I want to say this is a somewhat urgent video, right? I don't really want to use a clickbaity title in this case to make you suck it in to watch this, because I know this is going to go over a lot of people's heads, right? Not everyone thinks this is a sexy topic, but as I said, it's allowed me to basically have enough money for an extra deposit on a house. This is some serious money we're talking about here, so it might be worth your while to listen to this. But I do think now is a very important time to apply what I'm about to tell you, because while the market hasn't yet exploded, somewhat still obviously up from its lows, we are, I do believe, a few days or a week or a month away from having that next explosion, which means you're really not going to get as good of a chance in the future as right now to do this. So again, what am I talking about here? Well, very simply, it's portfolio rebalancing, or just rebalancing in general. It just means you're able to look at your portfolio objectively and say, if I move this coin and take some profits and put it into this coin and this coin, I'm able to, again, maximize rewards. And because you maximized your overall profit at the end of when you sell, you're able to go down and do what I do personally, just achieving my goals and reduce my exit levels, so I'm still achieving what I want out of the cycle, getting the maximum gains in the safest possible way. So I want to introduce you to my portfolio, okay? So this is how I'm going to kind of show you what I actually did in the recent sort of dip to allow myself to have those juicy, six-figure profit gains on the top of my entire portfolio. So if you're confused at the sheet you're looking at right now, I have this sheet available for you guys. There's a whole heap more information. I've wired it out of this, of course, to make it a simple experience for you guys. But if you want to have access to the best exit portfolio tracker, I've made this to make your life easy, saving hundreds of hours. Of course, this is available in the private community. If you want to get it, you can get it. If not, no hard feelings. That's up to you guys. So what we're looking at here, to summarize, is my goal at the very top of the page. This is my goal, personally speaking, for the end of the bull run. After tax, I need $3.6 million US. This is an important thing to remember, because on the very right-hand corner over here, we have to basically achieve $3.65 million in order for me to actually have my targets, my goals, which is have about $4 million in real estate to invest in housing, to have $250K cash just to, live in the next few years, and also $250K cash to reinvest back into crypto in the next bear market. So given this, again, I have a clear set goal on how much money I have to make. And you can see all my altcoins over here. I've got, give or take, about 13 of them. Well, I've kind of snapshot when I made this move what the percentages were at that time for each altcoin. Now, this is the very important first part of rebalancing. When you look to rebalance, and what I'm going to mainly focus on here is selling an altcoin and reinvesting the profits, keyword profits. You don't want to be underwater like you've lost money, okay? Reinvesting the profits you've made into coins that will get you higher returns. And if you really want to go the next step like I did, make sure those coins are also coins you're the lowest down on, okay, in your portfolio that you can stake. All right, so there's a few kind of variables here, but hang with me for a sec, because again, this is very important information. It sounds confusing when I don't really show you all, but just watch the screen here and hopefully I can explain it in layman's terms, okay? So basically, long story short, I was looking at my portfolio the other day, right? Here's my portfolio basically, and I was looking at this going to myself, what coins am I down the most on? And at that time, this is the current day snapshot, right? My current portfolio, but at that time, Manta Network and over here, Wormhole were my lowest, okay? Which means these aren't plus and minus for the day. This is plus and minus for my entire cost basis, right? So basically what I'm saying is I'm about $11,000 down on Manta, and right now I'm about $6,000 down on Wormhole, okay? So the goal here is to look for the ones that are down the most. You can see here, Pith comes in close, so does Celestia. I've got some of my coins are up right now, but we're looking for the lowest ones. And okay, so very easily, and even back then it was even more worse, right? Basically, Manta was down 33% and Wormhole was down 35%. So I'm thinking, okay, if I have conviction in these projects, the goal here is to reduce my average buy, okay, because they're down the most. if I buy in now, it's going to really, end up reducing the average price I'm buying in at. And then, also I'm trying to look for coins I can stake as well, because like I'll show you here with my staking calculator, again, you guys can actually download this on the private community as well. I was looking to buy Manta and W tokens, right, to stake, which means that, of course, I can get some pretty juicy returns. You can see here, I'll run through the example in a second, but ultimately by staking the amount I invested in these two coins, right, it was an extra $26,000-ish, admittedly over one entire year, that would allow me, to actually bring down my cost basis even more. So I get it. I'm using some buzzwords here. It might be confusing some people. So let me again go through and finish up the example, okay? So what I did was I found the coins I was down the most on, which was these two. I also ensured, can I stake these coins? That's, again, a given bonus, right? And so, yes, I can stake Manta. I can't stake Wormhole, but it is speculated that Wormhole will kick in staking hopefully sometime soon. So I knew that was obviously hedging into that. And also what I'm looking to do here is now try to find a coin I'm actually up on, so in profit, that I can take some money out of and reinvest. Now, this can be a dangerous thing if you don't know what you're doing. And the reason why I say that is because, again, just like we're trying to find coins here to buy, we also need to have a few rules to find which ones are able to be sold. Okay, at the time, I didn't have any cash to put in the market. So in my situation, I would have just simply used my cash reserves to buy if I had that. But in the case that you don't, or you want to put more in as well as your cash, this is sort of what I applied in my logic around this, all right? So I went to myself, which coins am I up the most on? Well, obviously not Synesis 1 and Goldfinch. That's negligible amounts. I'm up about 179% on NIA, 41% on Mina, and about 80% on HBAR. And I don't have the percentage, but I know there was about $8,000 up on my render, which I think was about 20 or 30%, but don't quote me on that. I think 20 or 30% or so. So it wasn't the highest coin I was up on. The only thing that made me actually end up deciding to sell my render was the fact that render in my portfolio, I'll actually zoom in a little bit here for you guys so you can actually see this. So render was actually the lowest multiple gaining project in my portfolio. I'm looking to exit render at $70, which again is an 8.3x. Now at the time, okay, even Celestia was actually higher than this. So it was by far the lowest in my portfolio. Most of these coins are a 10x or so. And so I thought to myself, okay, well, if I get out of render, not these coins, because looking for a 20x here, 10x, 11x, there's no point because I got in quite low. There's no point in me getting out of a position I'm really, really well suited in, right? Very low average buys versus render where I got in quite late respective to where everyone else got in. Like $8.50 is quite a high average buy for render. And again, that's because, I also have low multiples, right? I got in late. So I'm thinking to myself, okay, well, I'm up $8,000 in render. Let's take the $8,000 out of render. Again, that's pure profit. Okay, so it's actually in profit 8,000. Very important. You don't like sell the coin you're down on. Okay, it just makes matters worse. And so I had $4,000 to put into both of these coins, which is what I decided on. All right, $4,000 into both. So that's what I went for. Okay, so $4,000 into Manta and $4,000 into Wormhole. And what I did before I actually went through with that, what I always do is I actually run the example through first. So what I'll do is I'll come to my portfolio here on CoinStats. I'll click Add Transaction. I'll hit the coin. So for example, Manta over here, exchange pair, whatever it makes, I'll do the actual pair. And then I'll put the amount in I was going to swap. So again, at that point in time, $1.50 or so. I converted the amount over here on CoinMarketCap. So I had about 4,000 USD to spend. So it's about 2,500 Manta to purchase. And I'll come back over here, type in 2,500, basically mark it as a test and click save. Then what I'll do is I'll see what my average of the coin actually falls down to, okay? So you can see here, Manta, the average buy is $2.30. I'll see how far it pulls down. I'm happy with that. Yeah, we've pulled that average down quite a lot. Fantastic. And I'll usually test ones that are in the rough area, okay? I'll test the ones. If I had, for example, like 3 or 4 coins that were down about 33% or so, or in the 30s, I would test them all, see which ones bring down my average the most, because of course that's going to allow you to make more gains. And of course, I went for the execution there. You didn't have to put in 4K all in one. You could have done 2, 2, 2, 2, or again 40, 40, 20, like whatever DCA plan you wanted. But I knew the prices I was getting into was extremely, extremely low, thanks to the fact that both of these coins were at like pretty much all-time low. So very, very low. So I thought this is a great entry point for me. One of the reasons why I actually decided to buy these two coins was because of that, and executed. Okay. So again, when I actually decided to sell some of my render and also buy Wormhole and Manta, I did a mock test as well in this sheet. This sheet will allow you to do a mock test, to see how much I actually profited. So if I zoom back out again to 100, you'll see my current over here actual profit in this cycle is about $3.6 million. Now, it's a little bit less because, making this video, I had to decide to reanalyze the portfolio, go back in time and change a few things. So back then it was about this plus $100,000. But once I made this move, once I actually switched out and did this rebalance, I was able to gain over pretty much $100,000, okay? So that to me was a bit striking, right? I was able to just simply make a quick switch, just simply take profits off the table and reinvest, so no one's really being harmed here. Took the profits off the least gain multiple project and put it into 2 projects that, first of all, will make more gains. You can see your 10x over here, Wormhole, and for Manta, a 10x as well. So we're getting a couple more multiples in here. And that's all, of course, thanks to the fact that, I was able to get in, bring my average down, of course, a little bit more. Now, as I said before, with the amount that I decided to buy of Manta, and I decide to stake this amount, we can actually work out how much extra this is going to really reduce my average here. And again, if we just work this out over 12 months, it comes to, again, this is just the amount I bought of both of the coins. So it's 2,500-ish of Manta and about 7,500 of Wormhole. And it's about $25,000, okay? That's a stake. So really, in essence, it's more than $100,000 I'm able to rebalance over the course of time, which then, of course, if you want to factor this into your total, will allow you to bring down some of these multiples. So again, because I'm trying to achieve the goal of 3.6 million, because I'm actually up a little bit right now, I can be safer by reducing some of these sell levels on any of the coins. So for example, if I'm trying to bring all of these down as much as possible, obviously I'm in quite cheap here. I might want to bring down more of a risky asset just to be safer. So let's just say Flux, for example. I'm just picking and choosing here, bringing down to $12. Okay, so we're still above the grand total. So I might make this $11 and so on. You can begin just tinkering around like that, okay? So that's what I did. And that was the kind of wake up call to me that, hey, honestly, if I sold all my render right now and reinvested, it would work out better. But like Mike Rosa, one of the private community members told me, use render possibly as dry powder on the way up. Okay. Now I believe render will go over $100. I'm pretty confident in this. And I believe these coins will go well and truly above my average sell levels. But what you guys have to remember here is you're trying to make money in the market when it's the most liquid. When you're trying to achieve the high price predictions on these coins, you're pretty much saying to yourself in the market, hey, I'm trying to fight everyone all at once in a very illiquid market. If you're selling down here, it'll be a very liquid market because people are still buying at those low levels. So I've been doing this over the course of time, whether it's rebalancing like this or whether it's, of course, dollar cost averaging. Every time I put more money in the market, it of course increases my cost basis or how much money I've invested, which then means I can come and then bring down the multiples on the coins, bring down the average sell price to just ensure I again achieve my target. Again, guys, you just want to achieve your goals in this industry. I do not want you going out there and seeing your portfolio make all these gains and think to yourself, well, I'll just get a little bit more money, a little bit more money, a little bit more. It's literally an addiction. It's gambling. And all of a sudden, the market starts crashing and you think, oh, well, that's okay. I'm still making money here. And you try to sell because it's illiquid. You can't sell. And then you fall way back down beneath the price you were looking to get at anyway. Okay. So thank you all for watching this somewhat short, but hopefully explanatory video. If you do want a deeper dive on this, I can do it. Okay. I will likely do one in, the next 3 months or so if I do rebalance my portfolio again. I just wanted to kind of give you the example of what this looks like. Now, I understand there might be a little bit of hate on this because the fact that I sold, like 600 render might piss people off. But guys, I've got about 3,600 more render, okay? I love the project. That's why I bought it in the first place. But you have to remember, money comes first. Like I always say, doesn't matter how you make your money, as long as you make your money in respects to the law, of course. Thank you so much for watching this video. Take good care. Talk to you soon. Bye.